Hey, welcome back, friends. We are taking a look at Stronghold 3. I put Citadels on, God, when was that? Like, maybe a week ago or so? And tried that for just, like, the briefest of moments. And I said, yeah, I couldn't figure it out. And when I went on the internet, I was trying to read, like, some reviews and get some tips, and people said, you know what, you're better off just playing Stronghold. So since I have Stronghold, I thought, you know what, let's do it. So I'm going to build a stockpile. Now, if you're familiar, if you're already a good Stronghold player, then you probably don't want to watch this. I have never been very, very good with Stronghold. I just like to play it. Oh, I didn't realize I got so much starting stuff. I'm doing free build. Usually I try to do the scenarios, and I'm not the best at the scenarios. You know, they're kind of fun, but then there's a point where it's like, I don't know. It's not as fun. Oh, it's hard to describe. But I really want to do a free build where I just get to focus on managing a town. Okay, so here's my stockpile. I didn't realize that my stockpile comes filled with all kinds of stuff. I'm used to doing the scenarios where you start like with absolutely nothing, and then you gotta, you know, build up from there. You start with some peasants and stuff. There's a couple peasants. So I'm gonna build a hovel, and then I'm not used to having all these options. So what I want to do is build really, really slow. Where's my hovel? Because I have seen, just even in the campaign, you can overextend yourself, kind of overgrow. And then, like, you know, you run out of food, or you're scrambling to make, you know, farms and stuff for food. So I'm just going to put my one hovel. And speaking of food, I have a lot of choices. But I'm going to start by putting in a couple orchards. And I'm going to leave just a little bit of gap. I have a pretty big map to play with. And a lot of times, even in the campaigns, I put everything like so close together because I'm always afraid of room. Orchards, they kind of walk through, so I'll do that. And then also when you're placing the buildings, they kind of do have a little bit of like an area around them anyway, so you can't like make your buildings back to back to back, and it does leave a little gap to walk between. But like I really don't want to just corner myself in by chance. So I've got 2 apple orchards, and that's not going to be enough food. I mean, these folks consume a lot of food. And one of the ways that I manage happiness sometimes is I'll do a double ration. And depending on how many people you have, just a few apple orchards is not enough. That's not. I don't want the pig farm. There's a hunter's lodge. Used to be. Let me see where it's at. Let me just check, because I thought I used to have a hunting lodge. I don't. Perhaps that was an older version of Stronghold. Stronghold Crusades, perhaps, or just plain old Stronghold. But I liked the hunting lodge because he went out and got food for your folks, and it wasn't. It was just like he just put little hunting tents, and he had a little dog, and he could shoot birds and stuff, and that was cool because your folks, their happiness also grows depending on the different food types you make. Now, since I'm doing free build, I'm going to go ahead. I need to start getting some wood. Wood and apple farms seem for me to be like some of the most important things to make right away. I'm just trying to see where a good spot to put this would be. I'm going to stick it right here, surrounded by all that wood. Nice. And you need that so you can make all your different little buildings and stuff. And at some point, I'm going to have to build a lot of water carriers so they can put out fires. So then your kingdom pretty soon is just going to be big. It's going to be huge. And the thing is, when you play the campaign is nice because they only give you access to just a couple buildings at a time. That way you can kind of learn how to play the game a little bit at a time. But when you do a free build, as I'm seeing, since you have access to everything, the trick then is knowing kind of how much to build. I don't want to overbuild because there's a lot of interdependencies among these buildings. Like you can grow your hops which then gets turned into, you know, ale at the inn to give your people wine, to give them happiness. So if you just build like one thing and you don't build the other thing, then you're kind of wasting its potential. Now the food, because they will start eating through all the different types of food, I eventually do want to get like the pig farmer going and the dairy farm going, just so I can start supplying different types of food. And that might not be such a bad idea to do right now, since my stockpile does come already with a lot of wood. So let's go ahead. Right, see, like you could build your hops farm, the brewery, which then makes your ale, and then you can have the ale sold out of the inn. Another interdependency would be you build a wheat farm. You then have to build the mill, so it takes the wheat to the mill, and then from the mill you can take it to the bakery, so that's another source of food. So you just gotta be careful, because some things depend on others. And then pretty soon, as you start to build hovels, because all of these things have to be populated by folks, it can spiral out of control, I'm seeing. Because even in the campaigns, it can kind of spiral out of control, because as you build more hovels to provide more working peasants, you have to feed them. So you build more food farms, which require more people, which need more hovels to populate. See, like right now, I got a lot of free folks just standing around. So I could actually go ahead and put a couple items here. I'm going to go ahead and put a dairy farm. And I'm just going to leave a little bit of a walking gap. Like, they could probably walk between. That's what the green around it is. Yeah, we'll do it. I think if they needed to, they could walk between. So I'm going to put a dairy. And I'll put a pig farm. I'm not quite sure where the front of the pig farm is. Maybe it's like this. And I won't worry about the hops and the brewery yet. But I will do the wheat farm. And I'm going to put the mill, like, right by... See, the other trick, too, is you don't want to go too far from your stockpile, which I kind of have done. Because then these folks, it takes them a long time to walk all the way to the stockpile, or to the granary to drop, like, food off. But, like, the wheat farmer, he'll take, like, wheat, like, all the way to the stockpile, and then the guy's got to come back. Let's put this over here. Because, see, what'll happen is, he'll grow the wheat. He'll take his bag of wheat over here. Then the little flour boy will come over here, grab the bag of wheat, and then take it to the bakery guy. Oh, I just stuck it right in front of the door. They can get in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a bakery, like, right here. So they don't have to walk so far. Yeah, see? He had to go. He took the wheat over here. Then those guys came over here, got the wheat. Now when they're done with their bags of flour, they don't have to walk so far to drop it off. And then this person can come and make bread. So that's part of your planning as well, is how far away from the stockpile and the granary do you want to be, because that just makes it challenging for how long you have to wait to get, you know, your different industries growing. And right now, this is probably a good support on food. Food is important because your people's happiness depends on it. The more, like I said earlier, the different types of foods you have, the bigger bonus you get to happiness. So this is pretty good. Trust me, as I start to build more hovels and get more people working, I'm going to need a lot more food. Now see, like, I want to start getting stone. Okay, so I've got ore here. You need ore because then you can make swords and plate armor. Stone is super important because that's how you're going to get the stuff you need to build your, your castle at some point. But all of that takes time to, travel over. Oh, look, a bridge. What is this? Oh, that's the edge of the world. So I'm just kind of looking around where things are. We have lots and lots and lots of wood. The thing is, honestly, you know what I should have done? The castle is way up here. That's why I put the stockpile. But look, they're going to have to travel. Ooh, they might actually be okay. They might be able just to come right down here. Because you got to plan out the pathing. Let's do... See, I just want to have some industry going. pitch rig. Now with the iron ore, see, I know here. I want to get stone going. Let me get stone going. See, I don't want to put it up here because they have to like walk all the way down and then come away around. But if I like go ahead and just stick one here, they don't have to walk as far. And then if I just put, I have to tether one ox. Now the thing is, I think up here, yeah, well, he might go and run the ox. Maybe. But I knew several of those guys would have to come down here and run the stone. So once they have stone, we'll see if this guy becomes an ox master rover runner guy. I don't know what he's called. The teamster. What I used to do was put like 2 oxen. So just because it takes them a certain amount of time to dig stone, but then, you know, it takes a certain amount of time for your ox to go drop off the stone and come back. And we are far enough away that I could probably tether 2 oxen down here. And by the time that those two start to kind of sync up, you know, where one's going up, the other one's returning, we could probably keep this one stone quarry going really, really well. Keep it busy. But since I've only got one idle peasant, I don't want to... It just means I had to build a hovel. Because see, you just run out of people so quickly. But then the more hovels I build, require more peasants for making food. And then at some point, I have to build another hovel because I'll have a bunch of folks just dedicated to making food. It just, one thing leads to another. Now let me see if this guy's going to become... Nope, I guess maybe the ox will be good. I thought he needed a person. It could be that, because I thought they used to have a person that would walk and lead them. Like that was a separate thing, but maybe we'll be okay. There they go. But see, with this one ox, by the time he gets up, drops off his load of stone, these guys will have a whole bunch of stone waiting right here for him to pick up. So when he comes back, he'll just stand right there, fill up, and move off again. Now, if it gets to a point where these guys are not working because there's just too much stone here, because that's what will happen is that this stockpile that they have will fill up. They'll actually stop working. And if it gets to a point where they stop working because we're waiting on an ox to return, that's when I'll put a second ox cart. Because I want to make sure that these guys are constantly digging stone. I'm going to wait for that. These guys are getting me a good supply of lumber. It's only 3. And you can actually go through a lot of wood early, really fast, if you build just too many structures for the heck of it. So I'm going to go ahead and let them work on their wood for a bit. Now it's free build, and I don't think I told it to generate any enemies, but at some point I will want to build a barracks. Now the barracks does not take people to operate. It's just that you're limited with how many soldiers at a time you can build by how many idle peasants you have. So for instance, I got 1 idle peasant, so I could build 1 soldier. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna put it right there. So I could build 1 soldier. I do got a pretty good amount of money. My taxes are good. So I could build 1 soldier, and then when another peasant comes, I could build 1 at a time. That just is kind of tedious. Plus, it's just a peasant with a pitchfork. They really are weak. So what I want to do is take a look at what I can build just off of wood. Since I don't have any iron ore yet, I can't build swords, I can't build armor. But with wood, I can make spears, and I think I can do pole turners, so I can make the some pikemen. And I know I can make archers with wood. So let's... What is this? Siege camp. Let's go ahead and put... Now I need an armory. because once I make weapons, it needs the armory to store them. So let's go ahead. I'm going to leave a little... Well, I think they'll be okay. I think they can walk. That's plenty of a gap. I'm going to build the Fletcher's Workshop because I like archers. Archers are actually some of my favorite things to make. Not the crossbowmen. Crossbowmen probably are pretty good. Pole Turner's Workshop. The weaponsmith. Should I build that? That looks like pikes. I think I can just get away with spears. Just plain old like wooden spears. Oh, but see, here's the thing though. These two shops, I need peasants. See, I had one free peasant, so he's going to go make bows. But I don't have anybody free to make the spears. And what you want to do is kind of have a little bit of a mixture of some archers and then like some spearmen. The spearmen will kind of hold up for a few seconds whatever's coming at you on foot. And then archers can go and shoot them, whoever comes through at long distance. So let me go ahead and build another hovel. This is the part I hate. This is where things really start to escalate now. Because now I'm going to have people just standing around eating food. And I got to build some more places for food. And then I can... but then that brings disease. And it's just... things get rough from here on out when you start adding hovels. Alright, so that is the beginning. I'm zooming out. That's the beginning of our village. We've got a woodworker, the stone gatherer, because you need stone to build your barracks and your stuff. And then if you ever want to build walls to protect all of this, gotta have stone. So we've got a little bit of food. Let's see how we're doing on food. See, I can look. I mean, we have pretty good amount of stores. We're doing okay. We're actually very happy. I don't have to lower taxes. We got money coming in. This is a pretty good start. Like I said, you don't want to build fast. I want to build slow. We're off to a good start. Let's not jinx it too much. We'll take a break right here. Thanks for hanging out and checking out Stronghold 3. If you have tips on how to be successful at Stronghold 3 free build, let me know, other than just going slow. Otherwise, check it out. It is fun, and it is so much better than Citadel. Citadel, Stronghold 3, let's keep it there. Now, if you have an idea for some other city building games that I'm not aware of, or maybe have heard of but haven't tried, but just let me know. What's a city build game that you like? And then, send it to me. Buy it for me on Steam. Because I've spent my money for the month on games. So look me up, Jadrian on Steam, and you can send me some other stuff to play too. Anyway, have fun, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.